Oh, hello! My name is Mara, and welcome to Books Like Woe. So, I've got a very quick yay or nay review for you guys today about a book that is coming out. I can't remember when I am posting this video, so it's either coming out today, if today is July 24th, or it is coming out a week from today. So, but the book is definitely coming out July 24th, and it is a memoir, and I wanted to do this quick yay or nay review if I think you should get it. I do think you should get this one, that is the bottom line, but I wanted to do this because I don't know that this is a book that's getting a lot of hype, and I just wanted to give like whatever level of a signal boost I could give to it, because I do think that it's a really interesting book that has that explores some themes that I think are somewhat unique that I personally have never really read before, and that really resonated with me, and I wanted to like let people know about it. So that book is I Can't Date Jesus by Michael Arceneaux, and I really enjoyed this book for a number of reasons. So, based on the title, I think it's called I Can't Date Jesus, and something about how like he's putting his faith in Beyonce as the subtitle. Based on that, I kind of thought like, oh, I bet this is going to be like a collection of, and frankly from the description, I was like, oh, this will be like a collection of like funny essays about pop culture. Like, this is going to be great. Like, I'm into that kind of vibe. That is not what this book is. This book is definitely a memoir. Okay, so this is not what I would call an essay collection. I would call this a memoir. And it is funny in some places. It has some funny observations, and it does have some like interesting reflections on pop culture, but it is definitely a memoir. So I wanted to make sure people know that, because I think a lot of times people's experience of a book is so much driven by what their expectation is going in. It is a memoir. What I love about this memoir is I think it's an exploration of how Mike, I think is what he goes by, how he deals with a number of different cultural and personal forces that on some level don't want him, even though he still loves them. Now that sounds really harsh, and I'm not trying to say like, because a couple of the things I'm going to talk about are his parents, and I'm not saying his parents don't want him or don't love him. I just think that some of the like situations they're in like make that complicated and difficult. And I think what he does is he really like kind of as the memoir is unfolding, I think he is building on that theme over and over again in a way that is really interesting. I think he goes deeper and lets you see more and more about some of the situations that he alludes to in the beginning as the book progresses. But what I was just very compelled by it, because he is a gay black man who grew up in a house with an alcoholic and abusive father, and in an extremely Catholic context. He's reflecting on his experience with those different forces and how each of them has sort of like rejected him to some degree, or has made him feel unloved or unwanted to some degree, and how he kind of has made peace with each of those. So, you know, what does it look like to be a gay child of a very religious parent? What does it look like to be the child of somebody who is alcoholic and abusive, but you still ultimately love and like have a complicated relationship with and have empathy with? What does it look like to be a black man in America in general, but then specifically a black man in a gay culture that is very white dominated, which I hadn't really seen. I'd seen like allusions to that before. I listened to The Read, which is a great podcast, and they definitely talk somewhat about like how like dominated gay culture is by white people, especially in like white men. But I hadn't read something like that before. So I thought that was a really interesting kind of angle to take. But the part of this book that really spoke to me and really like made me feel very seen was his discussions, especially early on, about religion and what it looks like to still have some version of faith in God, but in the context of feeling very rejected by the church and very unwanted by the faith system you were brought up in. So he feels that way because he's gay. I feel that way just because like basically I'm a woman who does not conform to the gender norms of women in evangelical life. Like, and I grew up in the evangelical fundamentalist church. I don't conform to those gender norms, and therefore they don't want me. Like, they don't want me, and I don't want to be there anymore. And he grew up Catholic and feels like I'm gay and you don't want me, and I don't want to be there anymore either. And he kind of reflects on what it looks like to maybe like kind of come back to faith or have moments of like still wanting that in your life. And I've really resonated with that, and I really would love to see that theme more in memoir, because there are so many many of us out there who grew up religiously and don't consider ourselves to be like complete atheists. I really like him talking about why he doesn't feel that way, and still maybe want to be a part of a faith community or spirituality or whatever in some capacity, but don't really know how to do it because we've been so burned by it. So I would love to see that more in memoirs, and I really appreciated that that was a major, I think, he sets that theme up early on, and I really think that's sort of the bedrock of a lot of what he gets into throughout the book. So really enjoyed this book. I would love for more people to read it. I just think it's a really good memoir. This came onto my radar because Roxane Gay rated it well on Goodreads, and I was like, ooh, what's that? So, you know, there's another endorsement for it. But yeah, I just think that it's a really interesting memoir and one that I haven't heard a lot of buzz about, so I just wanted to bring to your attention and say I think it was really enjoyable, and I would definitely recommend it. So I give this yay or nay review a big yay. Get it at the library, buy it, whatever. And yeah, I think that will do it for my thoughts on this for now. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you are so inclined. I have all that information listed in the description box below. And I think that will do it. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye!